Hey everybody, I'm Gabe.
And I'm Tim.
And this is the Review Crew Academy Award Extravaganza.
Yep, and we're going to start things off strong by tossing it over to Nick and Ann, who are talking about Best Cinematography and Best Adapted Screenplay.
Hey everybody, I'm Ian.
And I'm Nick. Today we're going to be talking about the 2023 Oscar nominations for Best Cinematography. Of course, we've got All Quiet on the Western Front, Bardo, False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths, Elvis, a classic, Empire of Light, and Tar as our nominations. So Ian, as the review crew director of photography, what do you think?
Yeah, so I'm looking at all these nominees and I'm like, dude, we had some beautiful movies this year. Honestly,
for sure.
Even movies that didn't even make this cut. We had some absolutely gorgeous films this year. And
Yeah, we did.
Great year for cinematography in general. But when I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, I'm gonna put money on this, what is the Academy thinking?
Yeah.
And I think they're thinking All Quiet on the Western Front. You know, the Academy loves their war movies.
Oh yeah.
Personally,
Yes,
I wouldn't give it to All Quiet on the Western Front, but it's an absolutely gorgeous movie, and I wouldn't be that offended if it won. What about you?
You see, I also think they're going to go All Quiet on the Western Front because shot for shot, that is an absolutely stunning movie. And I know you said you think they're going to go for it, but you wouldn't say it personally. I honestly would say All Quiet on the Western Front should get the nomination. I think Bardo might be a bit of a sleeper pick.
Yeah, you
but
do.
I do. That movie is absolutely beautiful.
And you've seen it, of course.
It utilizes the rule of thirds very well. But, what do you think about Bardo?
Yeah, I thought Bardo was a gorgeous movie. Of course, it's going to go to All Quiet on the Western Front. Here are the nominees for Best Adapted Screenplay. All Quiet on the Western Front, Living, Glass Onion, Top Gun Maverick, and Women Talking. Nick, where do you think this Oscar is going?
Well, Ian, you see, there's a lot of good movies here. I personally think Glass Onion might be a bit of a sleeper pick. I don't know if it's actually going to get the nomination. I see it going...
It got the nomination.
Oh, I got trolled. I got trolled by my own digression.
Just keep going.
Well, you see, Ian, I think that Glass Onion is a bit of a sleeper pick here. I don't know if it's going to get the Oscar itself, but I do think... I could see All Quiet on the Western Front getting the win this time around. But me personally, I'd love to see it go to Glass Onion. I think it would be well deserved.
I would also love to see it go to Glass Onion. I love that movie's writing. I thought it was such a fun movie. And when I'm looking through Best Adapted Screenplay, I'm like, what would I like to read as a book? You know, it's not even about what was the best movie. So for me, if I was on the Academy, my vote would go to Glass Onion. But I do agree with you. I do think All Quiet on the Western Front is probably gonna sweep the Oscars this year, which is a thought to have.
Back to Tim and Gabe in the studio.
And now let's go to two of the most fashionable people I know, Truman and Mac, who are reviewing Best Costume Design and Best Makeup and Hairstyling.
Hi, I'm Colin, not Mac.
And I'm Truman, and these are the nominations for Best Makeup and Hairstyling. We got All Quiet on the Western Front, we got The Batman, we got Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Elvis, and The Whale. What do you think about those nominations, Colin?
I think they're all great nominations, honestly. My personal pick, what I would want to win, is The Batman for makeup and hairstyling.
Indeed.
I think what they did with Colin Farrell was just amazing.
Oh,
with that
beautiful.
whole thing.
Turned a handsome man
About you,
into something.
about you.
Turned a handsome man into something terrible in The Batman. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
it's very
terrible.
nice. I think it's
Great.
very nice. Great stuff. And for me, I think Elvis did a pretty good job with the hair, but it's only hair. I think Wakanda Forever did a very good job with makeup and hairstyling because
that's good,
you know, I don't know if this falls into the category, but the ears on Namor was pretty cool. I think like the hairstyles of Queen Ramonda and the different people, like they have good hairstyles going on.
Yeah, no, I agree. Definitely agree.
Yeah. What about the Whale? When they make Brendan Fraser,
That's definitely probably my
impressive.
second behind the Batman because same thing with Colin Farrell they did with Brendan Fraser.
So impressive, good impressive.
Very impressive. The nominations for Best Costume Design are Babylon, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. So Truman, what do you think about these nominations?
Well, I'll tell you, Colin. I think Elvis is pretty good costume design with all of Elvis's classic little gadgets.
Yep.
I think that's great. I think Everything Everywhere All at Once, they got some kooky costumes in there.
Okay.
You know what else? I didn't. Did you see Babylon?
I did not see Babylon.
From the trailer, it looked like they had some good costume
Okay,
stuff going on.
But what would you? If you were there, what would you pick to win?
Wakanda Forever, obviously, very good costumes. So I guess I would have to pick that. What about you?
You know what? I'm not going to choose Wakanda Forever.
Oh,
Big
really?
twist.
Oh.
I'm going to choose Everything Everywhere All at Once because I think that the costumes they did with the daughter for the different like multiverse versions of her, everything was so unique. Everything was so different to stand out as a different universe version of her. I think they did that really well. That's my pick.
I disagree, but respect your opinion.
You know, I shake my hand. Thank you. And back to Tim and Gabe in the studio.
All right, now Tim and I are going to start off in the studio here by talking about Best Original Score. And the nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, The Fabelmans, The Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Babylon. Tim, what do you think is going to win the Oscar for Best Score?
Yeah, all these have great scores, phenomenal sound to accompany the visuals. But for me, I think I'm going to give it to Babylon just because that's the one I've heard the most talk about. I've listened to the score, the soundtrack. It's really great. It's got a good energy that kind of encapsulates Hollywood. So I'm giving it to Babylon.
Yeah, Damien Chazelle's movies are always scored well, specifically La La Land. But I'm going to go with The Banshees of Inisherin, scored by Carter Burwell. The score he makes is idyllic, it's fantasy-like, but there's also some sadness permeating through it. And I think it's a really dynamic, well-made score.
Now we're going to send it on over to two of our leading ladies, Isabel and Caroline, who are talking about Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress.
Hi, I'm Caroline.
Hi, I'm Isabel, and today we're going to be looking at the Best Actress in a Supporting Role. So we have Angela Bassett in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Hong Chow in The Whale, Carrie Condon in The Banshees of Inisherin, Jamie Lee Curtis in Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Stephanie Hsu in Everything Everywhere All at Once. So who do you think is going to win and take this prize home?
I really want it to be Stephanie Hsu, and I also think it will be because I think, frankly, between her and Michelle Yeoh, who we'll talk about, I think they were the heart of that movie, and I just think that she really deserves it.
I mean, yeah, she's definitely a big breakout star right now. I think she's been in a few things, and she's definitely getting her name out there more. I think that she could definitely bring home the Oscar. I also think that Angela Bassett could definitely win the Oscar. She's, I mean, she's been in the Black Panther franchise ever since the first movie came out, and she's Angela Bassett, so everyone loves Angela Bassett. So I think any of those two wonderful ladies could possibly take home the Oscar this year.
And now we're going to be doing our picks for Best Actress in a Leading Role, which are Cate Blanchett in Tar, Ana de Armas in Blonde, Andrea Riseborough in To Leslie, Michelle Williams in To the Fabelmans, and Michelle Yeoh in Everything Everywhere All at Once. So tell me, Isabel, who do you think is going to take this prize?
I mean, I think that Michelle Yeoh should win. I think she has a very good chance of winning. She is actually only the second Asian woman to even be nominated for Best Actress. And so I think it'd be great if she won and took the Oscar home. I think Cate Blanchett also has a very good chance of winning, just because she is Cate Blanchett and she's iconic, and she is a great actress herself. But I think, again, I'm a little bit biased because I really do want Michelle Yeoh to win. I'm a big fan of her work, and I think she's just an amazing actress as well.
I completely agree with both of your takes. I think that Cate Blanchett will take it home just because I think biopics are so big right now, and I think Tar was such a interesting and different one that I think a lot of people really found it very interesting and just one of the highlights of the last year of film. And then, but I think Michelle Yeoh is just her and Everything Everywhere All at Once is just one of the performances that just really sticks with me.
Yeah.
And now we'll send it back to Tim and Gabe in the studio.
Up next, we're talking about Best International Picture. The nominees for this award are All Quiet on the Western Front, Close, The Quiet Girl, EO, and Argentina, 1985. Gabe, what are your thoughts on what's going to win?
Tim, I think we both know what's going to win. Let's say it at the same time. 3, 2, 1.
All Quiet on the Western Front.
Everyone knows it's a great movie. Heartbreaking. I cried in my bed. And it's not only the best international picture, but it's just one of the best movies of the year.
Agreed.
Tim, did you know they nominated Puss in Boots: The Last Wish? Well, if I had one last wish, I would go see Camilla talk about the best animated features.
Hi, my name is Camila, and today I'm going to be talking about the Best Animated Feature for the Oscars. The nominees are Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, The Sea Beast, Turning Red, and Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. In my personal opinion, I loved Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. It was my absolute favorite movie, but I think it definitely is going to go to Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. The animation is amazing. It's animation that I haven't seen before. I think it's very unique compared to all the other animated features, so I definitely think that's going to go home with the Oscars tonight. And let's send it back to the studio with the Handsome Devils, Gabe and Tim.
Tim, as the director of the review crew, I feel specifically qualified to talk about this next topic, Best Director. And the nominees for Best Director are Todd Field for Tar, Steven Spielberg for The Fabelmans, Martin McDonagh for The Banshees of Inisherin, Ruben Östlund for Triangles of Sadness, and the Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Tim, who's going to win Best Director?
Yeah, great directors on this list. Really a tough pick, honestly. But for me, I think I'm going to go Steven Spielberg. He is that classic director, and he's gotten awards for Schindler's List and for Saving Private Ryan, both great films. This is kind of a departure from those, but still really has that Spielberg magic there. And knowing how the Academy kind of works, they do like to have those like bits of nostalgia where they kind of, even if he isn't the absolute greatest director, he's a very well-known guy who's done a lot for movies, so they're probably going to give it to him.
Yeah, I always think of back to what Quentin Tarantino once said, which is to make good movies, all you have to do is love movies. And The Fabelman shows that nobody loves movies quite like Steven Spielberg. This movie is really wonderfully made. It's kind of a biography, and I think this is a really good way to, Spielberg's career is winding down. We don't know where it's going to go next. And so, I got to give it to Steven Spielberg.
All right, let's use the magic of a cross dissolve to go on over to Cabby and Cam, who are talking about Best Visual Effects and Best Original Screenplay.
Hi, I'm Cabby.
And I'm Cameron, and today we're making our picks for who's going to win Best Visual Effects. And here are the nominees. All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, The Batman, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and Top Gun: Maverick. So, Cabby, who do you think is going to win?
Right now, I think Avatar: The Way of Water is pretty much set to win this. Obviously, it's a beautiful movie.
Very beautiful.
But I would not be surprised if Top Gun: Maverick Dark Horses in and wins the award.
And that was actually my pick. I think Top Gun: Maverick's going to win. When I was watching the movie, I think the visual effects of you really feel like you're in the cockpit with the pilots themselves. And I just think it's a very visually great movie.
I agree. And now we're going to talk about the nominees for Best Original Screenplay. The nominees are The Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fabelmans, Tar, and Triangle of Sadness. Now, Cam, who's your pick?
I'm going to have to go The Banshees of Inisherin. I think the writing is really good. It's just some parts very sad, but it's a great dark comedy. And I just think the writing's fantastic.
I agree. It's a great movie, but my pick would have to be Everything Everywhere All at Once. It was just a great movie all at once. And no, I do believe it's going to win the award. And with that, we're going to send it back to the studio with Tim and Gabe.
Tim, it's February in a month like this, but it's cold and sad. You just need some support. So let's go to some of the most supportive guys I know, Mark, Chris, and Ryan, to talk about the Best Supporting Actor.
Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Mark. And we're going to talk about the Best Supporting Actor at the Oscars 2023. Your nominees for Best Supporting Actor will be Brendan Gleeson in The Banshees of Inisherin, Brian Tyree Henry in Causeway, Judd Hirsch in The Fabelmans. It's a Spielberg movie. We got Barry Keoghan in The Banshees of Inisherin. And then we have Ke Huy Quan in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Now, Chris, who do you think is going to come away with the victory?
Personally, I think Brendan Gleeson has this in the bag. I think he absolutely killed it in Banshees of Inisherin. I believe this is his first Oscar nomination. He's been in the game for a while now. I think he deserves it. I think he's got it. What about you?
Listen, right now, I'm going to tell you something. Right now, Chris, I'm going to tell you something to everyone watching at home. You can get rid of this contest. You can give the award now. You know what? Brendan Gleeson is the guy. Okay? He has his shelf dusted off, ready for that Oscar award. He has it ready because he is the guy who's going to win this award. This is his award. This is no one else's. All the performances, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. But they're giving this thing to Gleeson. Is it the best performance? Maybe. I don't think best should be used, but let's be honest here. Gleeson's winning this thing, and that's what's going to happen. Chris?
Yeah, I agree. And now let's send it back to Gabe in the studio.
All right, let's take a light swim across the pond to Dylan and a special guest who are reviewing Best Actor and Best Film Editing.
What is up, review crew? It is me, Dylan. I'm coming at you from London, England. And if you think you're seeing double, you are not. This is actually my twin brother, Noah. He's here to help me out today. Yeah, and we got a couple Oscar categories for you, starting out with film editing.
So, to start us off, we got a great list of nominees this year. We got Top Gun Maverick, Tar, The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, and Everything Everywhere All at Once. So, Dylan, let's start with you.
Now, I really think that there are some very impressive editing done this year with the movies. I think a movie that you gotta mention is Everything Everywhere All at Once. You know, the creators and the editors for that movie literally said that they learned how to edit right on the spot online. So extremely impressive. But I honestly have to say, if I had to go for a winner, it would have to be Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, no, I believe that Top Gun will probably take home the prize, but I think Everything Everywhere All at Once could get it. But again, like you said, it's very impressive. But Top Gun Maverick truly, I think, it takes the cake because it's just so well done. It's just a great film.
The flight sequences,
exactly.
everything, it really just makes you feel like you are a Top Gun yourself, which is just,
it's an immersive experience.
Exactly.
And that's very much in part due to the editing. So for that reason, we have to give it to Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah,
but
100%.
Second runner-up, 100% Everything Everywhere All at Once. The other nominees are all great, but they are not standouts like these top two.
All right, and our other category is going to be Best Actor. So, for Best Actor this year, the nominees are Bill Nighy for Living, Paul Mescal for Aftersun, Brendan Fraser for The Whale, Austin Butler for Elvis, and Colin Farrell for The Banshees of Inisherin. So, we've talked about this for quite a while. I really think there are two front runners for this award in my mind. It is Colin Farrell for The Banshees of Inisherin, and of course, the much talked about Brendan Fraser for The Whale.
Before we delve into Brendan Fraser for The Whale, though, we will mention, obviously, Austin Butler is talked about as well in this category. And yes, we've seen the performance, and he did win the Golden Globe. I think there's many reasons why he got that award. But we have to say these top two picks, I agree with you, Colin Farrell and Brendan Fraser, because I think these are the two picks that bring the most humanity. I mean, these actors bring the most humanity to the performances. But I would personally have to give it to Brendan Fraser just because it's just the greatest comeback role I've seen in the longest time.
I never knew Brendan Fraser had it in him until I went and saw this movie. I was actually just astounded with just how well acted this. Not that he carries this movie, but he makes this movie like it is a great film if you haven't seen it already. But Brendan Fraser truly makes it what it is.
Well, yeah, I think that without his performance, the film's still, I guess, decent. But I heard they took a long time to cast this role. And I think that's because they were looking for someone like Brendan. And he just brings so much humanity to the role that I was sold within like the first 10 minutes that this could be an Oscar-winning role.
Yeah, and I know people are referring to it as the Renaissance as he's having a comeback, but truly, like, this role really just stands out as,
he really proved himself. I think if you haven't seen the film, you really got to see it, see what people are talking about. I believe that, honestly. Colin Farrell did a great job this year, too. Banshees is a great film. But I think Brendan takes it by a landslide.
Without a doubt, we got to give Best Actor to Brendan Fraser in The Whale.
Yeah.
With that being said, back to you guys in Syracuse.
See you guys.
And to wrap up our Oscar discussion, we're going to be finishing off with the most important category of all, Best Picture. And the nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front,
Top Gun Maverick,
Women Talking,
Tar,
Everything Everywhere All at Once,
The Banshees of Inisherin,
Elvis,
Triangle of Sadness,
The Fabelmans,
and Avatar, The Way of Water. Tim, what's going to win Best Picture, buddy?
For me, so I'm thinking these are a lot of great movies. I'm just thinking back what had the most impact this year, what got the most people talking, what really just stood out in every single category that it had in it. And I'm thinking Everything Everywhere All at Once is going to win Best Picture.
Yeah, I want it to be Everything Everywhere All at Once so desperately. But like, for example, last year it should have been Power of the Dog and Coda won, so I don't really trust the Oscars anymore. So I kind of think it's going to go to Banshees of Inisherin. Still wonderful movie, but frankly, as long as Elvis or Avatar: The Way of Water don't get it, I'll be okay. That's all from us here. Thank you very much.